The RIOT Podcast. Woo! Where Chris brought pumpkin cheesecake.
Yeah.
Look
at that. It looks good over there.
It is
Wish
good.
I could have some.
You guys should get some pumpkin cheesecake, too, today.
Yeah.
You should.
It's a nice way to ring in the month of November.
Yeah. No, we don't celebrate November enough. Wow.
It's a pretty good month.
I actually think it's a great month.
There's a lot going on besides just Thanksgiving.
I do like this November, how we have the short distance between Thanksgiving and the Halloween or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that, actually, because I do feel like when we get the long Novembers where you wait like basically 4 full weeks for Thanksgiving, not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
But the idea of like an early Thanksgiving, like I'm ready to do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. You kind of just once you get past Halloween, you kind of just want to jump right in.
Yeah.
You don't want a lot of dead space before the holidays, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Like I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. We've been making plans, so like I'm pumped.
Plans to watch Mystery Science Theater
all day.
Yep.
All day, yes. That Blu-ray shopping and Mystery Science Theater. Oh, and family and being thankful.
Yeah, whatever.
So, hey, today on the podcast, Hudson and I talk. What do we talk about today? Do you even remember?
No.
Okay, good. So, you know what? You guys enjoy what you find here. Remember, you can always hit us up on our Facebook page. Find links to everything we've done this week, riot.radiou.com. Past podcasts, videos of Hudson caressing Zach's feet, and a brand new Obadiah plays. I played, what was it? No Man's Sky, The Abyss, which was their free expansion they released this week.
You didn't get lost in the abyss?
I didn't get lost in the abyss. Ooh, what about the 1980, is it an 80s movie? The James Cameron's The Abyss. Have you seen that?
Yeah. And is it Into the Abyss or just the Abyss?
No, it's just The Abyss.
Just The Abyss. Yeah, I think so.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
And almost as good as the documentary about it. That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, because Ed Harris almost died, and maybe I've seen it too many times. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
Pathetic.
It is the Riots on RadioU, 877-2-RadioU. Text or call, whatever. If you feel like you want to completely derail the riot, that's an excellent way to do it.
Chime on in.
Because when things are shiny, just I'm right there.
Easily distracted. So, Obadiah, let's say for some reason you wanted to start a fire here at the RadioU building.
Every day.
For insurance purposes or, just for any reason.
How many times have I told Nikki that we haven't really managed to get as famous as I want us to be? Because if you're famous enough, people are just giving you money, basically. Right. I have several times tried to float an insurance fraud scam to her, and she keeps shooting me down. But Hudson, she's not here.
She's not here. So we can do this.
You and I might have
the money.
Real, come on.
Getting a little desperate. So
come on.
So here's what I'm thinking. We could be like this 12-year-old boy in Indiana.
Okay.
Who's at school, and his idea was to pee on a electrical outlet to start a fire.
Does that work?
It worked enough to set off the smoke alarms, the fire alarms.
So you're telling me if I would go over here to this outlet and once this coffee has run its course,
right,
I would be able to, at the very least, produce smoke out of this outlet by peeing on it?
At the very least. It obviously seems like it wouldn't be a smart idea if you didn't want to start a fire.
Okay, sure. But if you were desperate, you were like, I guess you go to the bathroom, you just find whatever holes you can. There's holes in these walls, right. Sure, whatever.
I'm thinking as far as an insurance scam goes, there wouldn't be any evidence, right? It's not like they'd be able to, after the fire is all said and done, they would be able to track it down.
As far as we can tell, it seems like the fire originated in this room from that outlet. And we're not sure why, but there's a lot of urine there. But that's all we got,
So he didn't burn the place down, but it did cause everybody to kind of freak out because, again, smoke detectors started going off.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't know if you've ever put out a fire in this way, but I don't think the smell would be like that would have stunk up the school is what I'm trying to say.
Just from the smoke? Or you would imagine most of the urine smell, if there was fire, would it burn up?
I don't want
to think about steam urine.
If it's evaporating into the air,
I don't want to think about
because
that.
of heat, there's going to be a smell involved. Like I said, if you've ever gone on a fire, you would understand.
Dude, and somebody has to run over there and put that out, and they're like,
Yeah.
I'll use my jacket to put out the, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can see where that would be a thing.
Another thing people were concerned about is that some people think you could get electrocuted by that.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It's don't whiz on the electric fence.
Yeah, but apparently that is not an issue because if you've seen Mythbusters, they tested it and like it's actually it's a bunch of little droplets that aren't connected if you really look at it like in slow motion.
Okay, sure.
So you're actually, it's not all connected to you, so it's not all connected as a way for the electricity.
So it's not enough for the electricity to go straight through.
Right. So you're safe in that regard. So if you're trying to start a fire for whatever reason, you can go that route and you should be safe except for whatever smells may be involved.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem to me like it's foolproof enough.
Yeah.
And did they cancel school that day? Because at least that would be a victory.
It doesn't mention that.
Okay, do we know, is he in trouble probably?
He's got to be.
Yeah. But how did they figure out it was him? Did he hang around?
He was the only one that wasn't wearing his pants up all the way at the time.
Now it's getting weird.
You'd think that after all these years of hearing me make fun of the riot, people would have stopped listening by now. Maybe it's one of those can't stop staring at a train wreck situations. It's the riot on RadioU.
Hudson, you don't read books, do you?
Not as much as I should.
What's the last book you read?
I'm in a book called Disruptive Witness that I still haven't finished.
You're still on that one?
It's not even 180 pages.
I think you recommended that book to me 3 years ago. It's fine, though. It's fine.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to read it. I like it more than most TV shows and stuff. It's just that, much like TV shows, I just never feel like I want to sit down and devote enough time to it to get it done.
You never sit down for it.
No.
I get that. So you know what the problem is? Do you have a hard copy of the book?
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is that it's too big.
Is it?
That's the problem. Like that book is too big. When you look over and you see it, you're like, man, if that was shaped like my cell phone, I could totally read it.
Is that what it is?
But it's not, and so I can't.
Okay.
At least that's what the people at Penguin Random House think.
Okay.
They have a division of their publishing house called Dutton Books.
Okay.
And they say Dutton Books is for quote-unquote young readers.
Okay.
Now, what do they mean by young? I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't say.
I mean, if somebody said young readers, I'm thinking like actual children.
See, and that's not what they mean by that,
Right.
though, because they have just republished 4 books by a guy named John Green. Now,
Okay.
John Green, that name might not mean anything to you because maybe you don't read, but maybe you've heard of the movies. Paper Towns.
Yep. Fault in Our Stars. Yep. That's it. That's the extent of my knowledge on him, though.
Well, he's got 2 other books, Looking for Alaska and Abundance of Catherines.
Okay. They haven't made those into movies yet, so at least not that I've heard of.
I'm sure the scripts are out there if they haven't yet.
It's happening.
Right? Okay. So what they've got is these books. So they have republished them and repackaged them to be cell phone-sized books. And the books are designed in such a way that you hold them very similar to the way you would a cell phone, and you basically can swipe up. And they say that basically that motion will allow you to hold this book in one hand and turn the pages by moving your thumb the same way you would if you were swiping. And they say that's it. That's the answer. Guys, that's the one.
I have to tell you that sounds horrible.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ah, man.
I want to do less things on my phone. You know what I mean?
No, but it's not a phone, Hudson. It's a book.
I understand that.
Right.
I mean, at that point, I'd just rather actually read a book on my phone than have a little book that functions like a phone.
But they're trying to make it... The thing is, they want you to buy a book.
Yeah.
So buy this book that feels like your phone, so you're not afraid of it. Right now, you're afraid of books. You're afraid of them. They're big. They're unwieldy. They remind you of school. Right. And so what they're trying to do is shape this like something that you have positive feeling towards. Your phone. You can't live without your phone.
I mean, I can see the one appeal is if you could take it with you, you know? You could actually... Because I feel one of the things that I have a problem with is that, it is... You can't take a full-size book with you, really. It's kind of weird. But I don't have a lot of time when I'm just, like, sitting around at home I'm not just sitting around at home. I have other stuff going on.
You're doing something.
I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read the book. But if throughout the day, maybe if I had a lunch break and I actually thought to have the book with me, I could read the book at that time. Or, just when you had a little downtime throughout your day, if you always had a book with you, you would always maybe find time to read it.
You would reach for that book instead of reaching for your phone.
Maybe you would.
And you could have a good cry over The Fault in Our Stars.
Maybe.
Holding it in one hand. One hand for the book, the other hand for some tissues.
Exactly. Maybe you could even just take the book instead of your phone. And that would be some
weird.
Therapy for you right there.
Now it's getting weird.
That would teach you something.
Hudson's making it weird.
Every time you wanted to look at your phone, you would look at the book.
Hudson,
eventually, you'd get a little smarter.
Right now, Hudson is starting up his organization, Books Not Phones. Randall wants to know if the book needs a charger. It doesn't, but they probably have a little hole where you could plug it in if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Once again, there just wasn't enough material for Best of the Riot. Actually, there wasn't any Best of the Riot at all. None. Zero. Look, it's all bad. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not bad. It's the worst. RadioU.
I got to tell you, I like your shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's like a throwback comic, Secret Wars, Marvel Secret Wars. You got...
Yeah, I got it at Target.
You got the Hulk on there, Spider-Man.
$8.
I think, so you like Batman, right?
You know that I do.
But you're more of a Marvel guy.
More Marvel, but I do love Superman and Batman because I have a heart.
Yeah. So that's a big deal for you, right? That you talk about Marvel and you talk about comic books a lot.
I do. I identify with them, but I'm not ready to go to a nerd war with anybody over it.
Okay. But, how do you think your life would be different if you were a DC fan instead? More of a DC fan?
Oh, I'd probably be a lot more depressed. Every time I saw film news, I would just think about how I could never get it right.
Yeah.
I would find myself trying to defend characters like Lobo. He's cool. Besides, jewelry on men. We're making changes. Green Lantern, come on. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's a few changes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. Yeah. I feel like, that's a small deal. I think your life would largely be the same if you were a DC fan, though.
In truth, it would mostly be the same.
We've got a lot of choices when it comes to superheroes. There's a million superheroes you can choose for your favorite, right? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of people that are into Squirrel Girl.
Come on.
They might even wear the Squirrel Girl shirt.
They might.
There's a lot of options out there. And that's not just for superheroes. That's for... Basically, we're just always choosing our favorite sports teams, our favorite bands, our favorite whatever. But most of those choices don't actually wind up affecting anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they change. They fit into your lifestyle. They make up who you are, but they don't change your life a whole ton. And sometimes I think God gets lumped into that. Where he's just another shirt you can wear. He's another option you can choose. But it's like, does Jesus fit into my lifestyle? Is he the one that really fits into who I am? But man, that's not what Jesus actually is. God is more than just another choice out there. God isn't trying to fit into your lifestyle. Jesus is actually bigger than that. Unlike all these other options, all these other choices you have, God can actually come into your life and he can change things. Jesus can make a difference a lot more than whatever your favorite superhero can, your favorite sports team can. God wants to be there for you in your life to make a difference and to not just be another option, but to be the number one thing. And if you want to experience that, if you want God to come in and change your life to make an actual difference, all you have to do is ask right now. Say, Jesus, I want you in my life. I want you to change things. I've got stuff going on. I want your help handling it. And God can actually do that. If you want to find out more, you can check out RadioU.com on the free gift page. It's a great place to start.
There are a lot of reasons to listen to The Riot every morning. For example, give me a minute. There's got to be at least one. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So I said I wanted to find out, hey, do you put the blue stuff in your glasses? I just want to say, for those of you that don't wear glasses, high five. Good for you, okay? Good for you. That's great. Thanks for texting and letting me know that you don't wear glasses. I'm so glad that you won the genetic lottery, okay?
Great job.
That's fantastic. Why don't you tell me about how thin you are and you eat whatever you want? Why don't you tell me about how popular you are? Tell me all the ways you're better than me.
You never had to get braces. You have a full beard without even trying.
It's amazing. Yeah, you're the best around.
Yeah.
For the rest of us, I guess the people like me, Yes, I have to get another pair of glasses, or I'm thinking about it. So Jessica says, and these are all text messages. You can text to 877-2RadioU. She said that she's lazy just like me, which is why she stopped wearing contacts. It's real. I'm telling you. You wake up and you're like, hey, I could put these in my eye, or I'll just put these glasses on.
Yeah.
And that's totally me.
I can't imagine that because my eyes are so bad. And so my glasses are so thick, they look ridiculous if I was to wear them in public.
Okay.
And so I've worn contacts out for so long that it's just a second nature thing. It takes me 3 seconds to put them in and take them out, and I don't even think about it.
You know what? Better man than me.
Yeah.
Gabe says, I got the coating this year. I don't notice a difference. It's probably working, so it's probably worth it.
That's a pretty good argument.
I want to read that on the website. It's probably working. I guess it's worth it.
They should have those reviews posted.
Oh, so I'm getting new glasses. I'm trying to decide if I want to put that blue blocking thing on it. It's supposed to be better for your eyes.
Yeah, so basically it's like helping you when you're staring at a phone screen or a computer screen.
All day, which is that's my whole life.
Or in other words, it's the kind of like the effect of if you had like the blue, what is it called? Blue shade. Some things have that button where you can push it. It makes your phone look all weird, but it doesn't hurt your eyes as much. So you can go to sleep at night.
So here's Britton. Says, hey, my name's Britton. I've got blue screen glasses. They work well. I stare at a computer all day at school, so it helps. Samantha says, I have the blue light filter on my glasses. I stare at a computer for 8 hours a day, come home and play video games for another few hours. And I can say it works. Before I had it, I would get headaches, and now I leave work, and I'm fine. So, and man, like so many of you, Christian, Janet says that she uses them, but she has used them, but she wants the blue light to help her wake up in the morning. Josh says, I think you should get them, but get the Spider-Man logo on the lens like a lens flare. I don't know how to do that, but it sounds awesome.
Let's take all of the most mind-numbing things the Riot has ever said and play them again.
It's a stupid idea, but I love it.
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Because Nikki's gone, Hudson is here.
And you know what that means?
What's it mean?
We get to talk sports.
It does.
In depth.
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about sports now. Now, normally, you and Zach would do Sports Fight on your show in the afternoon.
Right.
Okay, but because Hudson's here, that means that Sydney's on in the afternoon.
Right.
Because Sydney's on in the afternoon, Zach is on in the middle of the day.
Yes.
And as a result, you guys are going to be talking sports on Zach's show today.
Yes, we'll be talking sports. We'll be doing our official Sports Fight picks. And so we'll have 5 picks each, and then when the weekend is all said and done, whoever gets less correct, whoever loses, is going to have to get punished by drinking something, we don't know what yet, filtered through the winner's sock.
So if you
used sock, to be clear.
If you didn't catch it earlier in the week, the Sports Fight punishment happened on the Riot. And again, it would normally happen on Zach or on Hudson's show.
Yes.
But Hudson had to clip Zach's toenails.
Yeah.
Wasn't that something?
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, you can find it at riot.radiou.com.
And I need my revenge this week. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Let's open it up. We need some help here. I need some help.
Give me a couple of games and tell me, hey, I need help on these games because you guys talk NFL. I don't pay any attention to the NFL.
Sure, but
you could tell
college.
Me that the Squawks were playing, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. Whatever.
I would pick the Squawks.
Okay,
let's do college. So the biggest game of the week, and before I even get to this, no emotion. Okay, I don't want to know who you're cheering for. I want to know who you think is going to win.
Okay,
emotion can get right out of here because that's how you pick. Door. That's how you pick wrong. Okay. So we've got LSU and Alabama, clearly the biggest game of the week. My analysis so far is that it's in LSU. That's a big deal. LSU is also still a big underdog, even though they're like the 3rd ranked team in the country. Mm-hmm. And Alabama beats everybody by 40 points. So, I mean, a lot of things are stacked against LSU, but I want to know if anybody's got thoughts on that. Give me a reason why you think LSU can win, I guess.
What do you think? Do you think Alabama's going to be?
I'm actually kind of leaning towards LSU.
Are you really?
I am.
So because, to you, what are the factors that are the big ones here? Is it because it's at LSU?
It's at LSU. It's a tough place to play. LSU is really good. Alabama hasn't. The thing is, Alabama hasn't played anybody as good as LSU.
Right.
I mean, there are many teams in the country that are as good as LSU. Alabama, though, has been it's not like they played the easiest schedule, but they've been beating up on a lot of teams
big time
that really just aren't that good. And it's not like Alabama's the only team beating up on them.
Okay.
So it's hard to see. Basically, Alabama hasn't been in a close game. It's hard to know how they will handle that. Whereas LSU has beaten some very good teams in close games. So they're kind of battle-tested, it might be the term you would use.
Okay.
So I kind of like LSU, but I don't know if anybody can talk me out of that or talk me more into it or what.
Okay, so give me like two more. What are the other games that we need people to sound off on?
The other big one that Zach and I are definitely picking is Georgia-Kentucky, also SEC, but it's also a top 10 matchup. And everybody is, again, it's a lopsided thing. Everybody's going to say Georgia, right? But Kentucky's at home. They've got a really good defense. They're playing really well. Georgia, I don't know. I don't know what the argument is against Georgia. So do you have a good reason for me either way on that one? And then we also we always do an upset. So I need a big upset to pick.
Okay.
And that one I'm still kind of wavering on too. So I'd love to know if somebody has an upset, a really good reason why you think a big underdog is going to win this week. I need to hear from you.
How does Nikki put up with Obadiah day after day? It's easy. We pay her. RadioU.
Hudson, are you ready to be angry?
Sure.
Do you want to get mad?
I'm always ready for that.
You ready to get fired up and just like let's throw some stuff? Just get angry.
All right, let's do it.
Yes. Starbucks just announced their holiday cups.
What the heck?
War on Christmas.
What kind of timing is this?
The worst.
Like we don't have enough to be angry about right now.
Well, the thing is that really right now it's almost like spin the wheel and choose your own anger. Think about it like this.
That is true.
Okay, so we can be angry about the fact that Starbucks has released holiday cups, but they're not called Christmas cups.
Okay.
So there's something we could be angry about. The other thing that we could be angry about is that this year they've decided to go with 4 different colors.
Instead of your own adventure, or did you just get stuck with whatever they give you?
I'm going to take a guess and say that you're going to get what you get and you won't throw a fit. Actually,
no, it's Starbucks. People will throw a fit.
What am I saying? You're going to get what you get, and no matter what, you'll throw a fit.
Yep.
Sorry, my mistake. Let's see. We've come up with 2 things to be mad about. The third one could be. the third one is you don't get to choose.
Okay. That's something to be upset about too.
3 things to be upset about, and now they're trying to get you to recycle. That's like a 4th thing to be upset about. Because here's what they're saying: that if you want to, you can go. Let's see. You can buy some of these, and they if you keep them, you get a 50-cent discount or something all the way through. So you can buy haven't you ever seen that where they do the disposable cups?
Okay.
Where you can pay however much for the disposable cup, and then it's like a 10 or 12 use cup, and you get money off every time that you use that cup.
No, I've not seen that. Is that just a kind of more of a Starbucks thing?
Yeah, and unless I'm missing it, I believe that these will have these are like that. You can buy one, in which case I imagine you will get to make a choice about which colors that you want.
Of course,
and then,
Well, you know what? You missed some things to be angry about.
Dude, I'm always looking for more.
I don't see Santa on any of these cups.
Okay, I'm mad about that.
Yep, no Santa, no Christmas lights.
Wait a minute. There's Christmas berries.
That's not lights.
Okay, that's fair.
There's no manger scene.
Okay, that's fair.
Think about all these things that aren't on these cups.
Yeah, so
they're missing a lot of Christmas.
Apparently, last year people were mad because they released a cup that you were supposed to color yourself. It had no color, and you're like, you guys, it's an adult coloring book. Color your own cup.
Yeah. Woo. That's what we do.
Yeah. So really, I just like to think of the holidays as something to be upset about. And I really like all the options that I have. That's what I appreciate.
If Starbucks is too cowardly to show what Christmas is really about on their cups, then where are we going as a society?
If you want to know the truth, I don't really go to Starbucks that much anyway. So so Starbucks is not where we're going. I usually go to the break room.
You don't think Starbucks is the beacon of all that is true and good, and that we follow wherever they lead?
I am open to doing whatever Starbucks tells me at any given moment.
Okay.
If that little mermaid would come alive on my cup and speak to me and tell me what to do.
And say that berries are what Christmas is all about.
Then you know what? I'm going to believe it without question. Because in this society, the most important thing is to make sure that you line up with what Starbucks says.
Yes.
So I'm ready.
And they say berries and Christmas sweaters.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Hudson, you know that this weekend you gain an hour.
Yeah. It's daylight saving time.
Oh, he says saving. Everyone else says savings, but not Hudson. Hudson wants to make sure he does it right.
I've got to do it properly. Along with saying February, I say daylight saving time.
That's good.
Because as annoying as it might be, there's nothing more important than being technically correct.
Yeah, that is big.
Yeah.
You want to be able to use language as a tool to lord your superiority over others.
Exactly.
It's the whole reason we talk. So good call, Hudson.
Yes.
So remember, not only are you supposed to set your clock back this weekend, you fall back, but you're also supposed to change all of the...
Yes.
What are you supposed to change?
Change
the batteries in your smoke detectors.
Call up Buddy the Elf. Get him to help you.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Yep, he's an expert with that. I've got an idea though, because I hate daylight saving time in general.
I do too.
I really wish that just one year we would just say in March, let's set them forward, and then
we're
leave
done.
it. Yep, leave it. Even though it'll still be dark at like 9 a.m. in the winter, but that's fine. I'd rather have it not be dark at 3 at night. In the afternoon.
I actually feel the same way.
In winter. But here's my solution. If we can't do that, I've got a second solution, a secondary option if we really feel like we need to keep daylight saving time around.
Mm-hmm. That
is in the spring when we move the clocks forward, instead of doing that in the middle of the night, let's do it in the middle of the day.
Oh.
so that we lose an hour of work instead of an hour of sleep.
Oh, now see that I like, Hudson.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I'm 100% on board.
That's been my pitch for a long time now, and nobody seems to listen.
So what you're saying is at noon it becomes 1. No, that's the way they would do it. They would stack it around your lunch. So it'd be like,
right.
Yeah, that's fine. You just don't get to have lunch today.
Yeah.
No problem.
It would be like a mini holiday for everybody.
Everybody gets 1 day off that day.
Well, no, I mean, you still...
I'm sorry, 1 hour.
1 hour off.
Everybody gets an hour off.
Then instead of dreading setting the clocks forward, you would actually kind of look forward to it.
You'd be like,
a little bit.
Yeah. We skipped an hour of work today.
Yes.
You know what? You might be onto something there.
Yeah. I mean, who decided it had to be in the middle of the night anyways?
Yeah. Paul just texted in. He says that's an amazing idea, Hudson.
Yes.
It is. We could get you elected on that. And you know what? But I do feel like I want us to do that and then stop.
Right. That's fine.
Let's hit March of 19. We set the clocks ahead. You skip an hour of work. And then we as a society decide, hey, that's enough. No more screwing with the clock.
I think so. I mean, this is really a secondary option, again, to just stopping daylight savings time completely. Oh, I said it wrong. But you know what? It's frustrating, though. You said I could get elected on it. The cowards in our government rarely mention daylight saving time, no matter how much you write them and call them and get angry at their town hall meetings. They won't even talk about daylight saving time.
I think it's because it constantly knocks us off enough. It's a conspiracy to keep us docile.
That's what it is.
It's to keep us docile, Hudson.
It throws off your circadian rhythm, and then you just can't do what you need to do to stand up to the man.
They want you hooked on corn syrup and not knowing what time it is.
Exactly.
Ever wonder what Nikki is doing when she isn't rioting?
Find her Twitter feed at riot.radiou.com.
Obadiah's is there too, but who cares what he's doing?
Sometimes when you sit in a room with somebody, they just make a one-off comment that's like, wait, what? So here's what Hudson says. He's just sitting over there and he goes, you know what? I really need to make it more a part of my show to talk about how much I hate Arizona.
Yeah.
What? What? Like, what?
Well, look, I don't think it's out of the ordinary. We all have, every single one of us in the United States, you travel around enough, you have a state that you can't stand.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Now, I haven't been to all 50, so maybe there's more than one, and I just haven't discovered my others yet. But number one on my list of hated states to go to is Arizona.
Why?
It is, well, one, it's too hot. And people say it's a dry heat. Yeah, it's a dry heat, but it doesn't really matter when it's 116 degrees.
Okay.
It's
all right.
still too hot.
Yeah, no,
now,
I don't disagree. I mean, like, there is no way that I want to spend time in Arizona.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone who lives there.
So here's another thing. I mean, well, okay, it all stems from this. I went to Arizona, me and a friend of mine. We have a thing that we're doing together where we're trying to go to as many baseball stadiums as we can throughout our lifetimes. It's our thing. We love baseball. Baseball stadiums are cool, so we like going to different ones. One time we happened to get free plane tickets to anywhere in the U.S., and we're like, we've got to use these. It was actually shortly before I moved to come to the RadioU studios. So it's like, this is our last trip. We had to squeeze it in. We had to find a weekend and find a place to go that had a game going on. We chose Arizona because we wanted to go somewhere that we would never go normally.
Right.
So we go to Phoenix. We're going to the game, but we've got some time there in Arizona for the weekend, right? And so we're asking people around, like we're going around town. We couldn't really find anything to do. We're asking like people in this city, what should we do? We're here for a little bit. Give us something to do in the city of Phoenix. And they're like, nothing. They had no suggestions whatsoever. Of course, there's the Grand Canyon. You know where the Grand Canyon is?
Isn't that like 2 hours away from Phoenix?
It's 3 hours away, at least, from Phoenix. Okay?
Dude, I love, as you're saying that, Jason texted, the Grand Canyon's in Arizona, though.
And here's the other thing. I mean, Arizona, maybe a fine state to visit if you just want to go to the Grand Canyon and maybe do a few other things. It's definitely not I can't imagine how it would be a good state to live. What are you going to do? There's nothing to do in the biggest city in the state. The Grand Canyon's 3 hours away. How often are you going to go to the Grand Canyon, right?
Well, I mean,
you're just going to go hang out?
If you're visiting, then yeah,
right.
Sure. But you're right. If you
live
there,
it's going to get, I mean, the Grand Canyon, it's going to get old, right?
What are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, we're just going to, head out to the canyon again.
Right.
So I tried to get off work a little early on Friday so I can go straight to the canyon.
Go chuck rocks in the canyon or whatever.
So fun, dude.
Yeah.
So fun.
So get one of those donkeys, just make a day of it.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Make a weekend of it.
So, I mean, we ran out of things to do pretty quickly. We were riding the city bus, getting around town, trying to find something. The bus broke down.
Shut up.
But I will say the stadium was really nice because it was actually outdoors, but it was air-conditioned outdoors. So that was kind of cool.
That actually sounds really cool.
That was the only thing I can defend Arizona with.
But other than that, you're just like, I hate this whole state.
So hot, so bored. We couldn't. It was just the worst.
Okay. So you need to, apparently, everybody, we've got a choice here.
Yeah.
Either we all collectively agree that we remember that Hudson hates Arizona, or Hudson needs to start at least a weekly segment about things he doesn't like about Arizona. So one or the other. We'll work it out.
It's the radio equivalent of going to McDonald's and ordering a fish fillet. Hey, that's one of my favorite things from McGee's. The worst of the riot on RadioU.
So this morning, I bought a new pair of glasses.
You did it.
And I did that using this Visa gift card that somebody gave me.
Okay.
My total for my purchase ended up being $49.01.
Of course.
Okay.
And what do you have, 99 cents left on the card now?
99 cents left on the card. 99 cents that... how do you get your 99 cents out of this card? Like, what do you do? Like, what can you do to get your 99 cents? Because the people that gave me this card, they paid like $4 or $5 just to buy the card.
Right.
Then they put $50 on it.
Yes.
And now there's 99 cents that I don't think they deserve to keep.
No, definitely not.
So how do I get my money back?
What you're probably going to want to do is go to a grocery store. They're usually the ones that can like help you with that. Yeah. Where they can split it up so that you can put 99 cents on that card and then pay the rest the other way or whatever. You can almost even do it if you have a bunch of cash. You can go to a grocery store, put in enough cash at the self-checkout so that you have 99 cents left and then pay the 99 cents with the card at the end. But that's if you don't want to talk to a person. You have to really plan that one out.
No, I think I'd rather just ask somebody.
Just ask a person. Yeah, they can do that for you.
Okay.
They can do that. But it's really like a grocery store thing because they're used to splitting your bills. If you they're fine with that. If you go to like a restaurant, they're probably not going to do that for you.
No. I mean, I have gone to like a Best Buy or something where I've spent like, hey, I have this much cash. Can I pay you in cash and then put the rest on my debit card or whatever? So, okay. That seems like a pretty good solution.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to, they don't get to keep that 99 cents, Hudson.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's a penny away from $1.
Yeah.
So Julia says she's having the same problem. She has a $25 gift card that has 49 cents left on it.
Grocery store.
Telling you.
They'll think you might seem a little ridiculous saying, hey, can you take 49 cents off of here? But you got to do what you got to do. Because, I mean, I don't know what the number is, but you hear it every once in a while where they're like, there's this many billions of dollars on unclaimed gift cards. Yeah. So, I mean, how much of that do you think is just the leftover money? I know I used to have a Starbucks card that is still sitting somewhere because it had less than the amount of a drink. And with that, you really can't do anything. When it's like an actual gift card to somewhere, you're really out of luck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably the majority of all that unused money.
So I bought cheap glasses, but I will tell you, I sprung for after everybody's text messages, I spent like $30 on high index coated something lenses.
Did you get the anti-glare coating?
Yes.
That is invaluable.
Yeah, that's one of their most recommended things is please buy this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I remember having glasses without that, and it's the worst.
Yeah, not that.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. RadioU.
Yes, Hudson?
Yes.
You seem like you were about to say something.
I've got something to say. Have you ever been on YouTube and the people are whoever you're watching, doing a live thing?
Yeah. Hudson, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I co-host a show called The Riot with Nikki. And roughly every 3 to 4 months, we do a live thing.
Right.
And so
you've done it.
I've been live.
You've been on that end.
And then I've seen live.
You've seen the live end of it. Have you ever seen somebody do a super chat? Where people can...
Wait, super chat?
That's where you can, people that are watching can donate to the YouTube channel while they're live?
No, I mean, okay, all right. This weekend, we might actually talk about this later, but I believe Extra Life happens this weekend.
What's that?
But that is an online streaming thing where people are raising money for a charity.
Okay.
So, that's a thing.
It's not charity. It's just for the YouTube channel.
Oh, so just whoever. So the creator can make money, and they call this a super chat?
That's what they call it. I mean,
I've never. Okay, just to be clear, I do streaming and different things. I've never heard the phrase super chat before.
I don't know if it I don't think they actually. It doesn't notify that it's super chat anywhere, or they don't call it that. But that's what it. As if you're the YouTuber, that's what it's called.
You
and
call
so
it
you're
a
saying
super chat.
Anyways, so people donate. You can actually donate to YouTubers through Super Chat.
I mean, I get that. I mean, people donate to RadioU because they like it. I have a couple of channels that I've given to their Patreon before. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's that. Okay.
So I've seen people do it, but it's probably just the channels I watch, but it seems very rare and few and far between. And it's just when people are doing live things and they're at the thrift store or whatever, and somebody donates $5, and it's just okay, I guess that's a good use of your money. Whatever.
Sure.
I found the person that's been doing that.
The person who's giving that money?
The person who's giving the money. It's this one girl in China. She's 11 years old. And she...
Already, 11-year-old girl in China. I love where this is going.
I don't know the exact conversion, but she is given 110,000 yen to YouTubers. That was her parents' whole life savings, basically.
I believe it's roughly, I think that's about $16,000.
$16,000.
Something close to that. So she has given out, did she give it to one person? Or
not exactly clear on that, but she here's what happened. Her mom gave her old phone.
Okay.
The phone also had a banking password or app or whatever somehow built in that she the reason she did that was because she wanted the girl to be able to pay for snacks and stuff when she was out, not at home.
So basically, she gave her an old phone that would be like a credit card, it had Google Play in it or something like that.
Kind of like an old credit card or something like that. That's just for this little girl. And she, when money means nothing, you give it to YouTubers. And so for her, about $16,000, it seems going to YouTubers, and her parents, what are they going to do?
Well, I don't know. What are they going to do?
That's my question. How are they going to recover from this?
How do you, I'm sure you're probably not getting that money back. I mean, But then again, that's a tough one because the other thing about it is that, if you had done in-app purchases.
Right.
So like on iTunes or Google Play or whatever, because I've read stories about this where a kid's like, hey, I played the Smurfs game, but I spent $8,000 on being Smurfy or whatever the heck it is they put their money into. And parents are able to like, hey, I want that money back.
Yeah.
And like they can do that, but I don't know about this. Okay. And I got to say what's up to, let's see, where did he go? Dave, he just texted in, and a super chat is in YouTube. If you're a YouTuber and you're hosting a live chat, basically you spend money on a super chat and it highlights and basically posts your chat so that it makes a big impact. And so what YouTubers will do is they'll respond to the super chats.
I've noticed that.
Whereas the regular chats, they may not say anything about. But if you get a super chat, they'll be like, oh, thanks to Sarah, who just gave me $12,000.
Yeah, because if you've watched YouTube, in a live stream, there's a million comments, but the super chat will highlight them.
Man, dude, we should super chat.
We should super chat.
I want to super chat.
We get so many text messages when we talk about food. We should super chat when we talk about food.
You know what? I feel like I've ruined us for super chat. You can text us 8772-RADIO-U, and we just talk to you anyway.
Yeah, right.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
Look, somebody has got to grab a hold of Ridley Scott and make him stop. Just sit him down and just be like, no, or just stop giving him money.
Yeah.
Because everybody's making sequels to his old movies, and most of the time it's him. So he produced Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
That came
are
out.
you mad about that?
No, I'm not.
Right.
But that was Denis Villeneuve.
Yes, right.
And that was, I actually thought that was a fantastic movie.
It was pretty good.
But Ridley Scott didn't direct it.
Right.
He also didn't write it. He didn't whatever. He basically showed up one day and was like, it looks nice. Now give me an executive producer credit. And that's the way that works. But he goes back, and what has he made sequels to? He did the original Alien.
Right.
Hugely popular for that, right? And
Yes.
let's be clear, that's like a 45-year-old movie. That is an old movie,
Yes.
okay? So he comes back and makes Prometheus and then gives us, what was it, last year's Alien Covenant?
Yeah.
Both terrible movies. Now, to be clear, I'm a science fiction fan. Very good-looking movies. They look
visually
spectacular.
Yes.
I mean, that guy... Wow, like what good-looking movies they are. You'll notice that there's a key thing I didn't say. I didn't say good movies.
Right.
I said good-looking movies.
Yeah. You can only make up for so much.
Yeah, and let's be clear, making a movie look good is a skill. It's a marketable skill. But I didn't like the movie at all. And so now, yesterday, they come out and announce that he is going to be directing the sequel to Gladiator. Gladiator was a movie that he made in 1999 with Russell Crowe, and it won Best Picture.
It did.
So
it did very well. You won Best Actor?
It's no small thing. That was a movie that in its time was incredibly well regarded, but a sequel 20 years later?
Yeah. And that one, it seems like a tough one to make a sequel to, too. Like, if they were going to reboot it or remake it, I still wouldn't be fully on board, but, you might kind of get it. But a sequel, what?
What do you do with a Gladiator sequel? Is it time travel? Is that what it is? Is it a prequel? Please don't, Ridley Scott, please don't make any more prequels. Don't do that. Don't make a prequel.
I mean, maybe he should just stop completely. He hasn't really had a good run, if you look back.
Not lately. He's been cashing in on old successes and making movies.
Last year, he did All the Money in the World. I don't know if that made a lot of money.
No, because
it did not make all the money in the world.
It had Kevin Spacey in it, and they did quick reshoots for it, and then nobody went to see it.
Yeah, nobody saw it.
Though, in fairness, I wouldn't have seen it
Before
anyway.
that was Alien Covenant. He directed The Martian. Is that true? That's what it says here. I don't know.
You know what? I think he did, actually.
He did?
Yeah.
Then maybe we can give it credit for that one. But
see, that's the same thing. It wasn't that a spectacular looking and
it
the production
really
design and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But see, he didn't write it.
He didn't write it.
And so the idea of, I don't know, they're saying with Gladiator 2, he's not going to write it either. Peter Craig is the guy's name who's going to write it. And he wrote The Town.
Which was good. I like The Town.
You know what? I think The Town's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
That's directed by Ben Affleck. I've gone back to that a couple of times.
Maybe there's a chance, but I don't know. I'm not buying it. If you go back a little further, like Prometheus and Exodus Gods and Kings, Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
I never even saw that.
These
in
are
fact,
not.
I didn't see Exodus. I didn't see Robin Hood because I was just like, eventually.
Yeah.
Did you see either one of those?
I saw Robin Hood.
Okay.
Nothing to write home about.
Okay.
I mean, who remembers that Russell Crowe even did a Robin Hood movie?
I do, but that's just because I remember things like that.
Yeah.
But
I saw that in theaters.
The average
back
person
when I
is
didn't
not
see
gonna
every
do
movie
it.
in theaters. It wasn't a great choice.
Olivia texts in. She says, "How are they even going to do that with Russell Crowe's character dying at the end?"
Spoilers! Alert! It's been out for 20 years, but come on.
And then she says, "I find myself being more upset than I probably should be about the sequel."
Maybe it's going to be a prequel.
I love that. I love the idea of hearing it and just being like, "Oh, I'm getting disproportionately angry about this." Though, in fairness, I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah.
The Riot's future? 2 words. Goat Farm. RadioU.
A lot of people have been asking where Nikki is.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people that Nikki's been on vacation, but that might actually be a lie.
I mean, we don't technically know where she actually is.
Yeah. I only say this, that it may be true that she got stuck in her bathtub and they only just now rescued her.
It's possible.
It's a total possibility.
Because that's what happened, isn't it?
Well, this is what
person?
happened to a woman in Michigan. Her name's Allison, and she did, in fact, get stuck in her bathtub.
Allison, a known alias for Nikki.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's her real name.
In Michigan, where she constantly is going.
On vacation.
Yeah.
She's vacationing in the UP.
Yep, obviously.
And so she's up there in her bathtub, and at first she's like, "I'm never getting out," and then she doesn't get out.
She really couldn't get out.
Here's how you know that this isn't actually Nikki. This woman got stuck in her bathtub, and she ended up stuck there because she had set her phone on the counter. She was unable to get up to get the phone. Nikki would never be that far away from her phone.
Absolutely not.
Ever.
I mean, at least she would have her watch on in the tub so that she would be able to use that to somehow communicate.
She'd have absolutely no trouble doing that.
Right.
None whatsoever. So this lady, 5 days in the bathtub, says that she was able to stay warm and subsist by drinking her bath water.
No. I mean, it's your own brew, so it could be worse. But
it's true.
You also have to think, if you're stuck in the bathtub for 5 days, you know what you're doing in that water.
Sitting.
And,
sitting. You're just sitting.
Yeah, just sitting.
Yeah, that's all that's happening. So don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. No big deal.
At least there's a drain there, so. You have to drain before you drink.
Yeah.
Is the
well, I mean,
law.
you could just drink out of the faucet, out of, the spigot. Right? You just drink out of that. You don't have to drink directly out of the bath water. It's like you can get the water before it hits your water.
Well, I guess if you're reaching it to turn on the spigot to get the warm water, then I guess you can reach the faucet. Probably. They're usually located right beside each other.
Sure.
But I mean, I can also envision a scenario where you're trapped in the bathtub. If your head is on the wrong side of where the where the tap is, where the knob is, then how are you going to be able to really do a lot of controlling, turning on and off if you can't even get out?
Dude, that's rough.
Yeah.
So the only reason anybody found her was that her mailman noticed that the mail was piling up.
After 5 days?
After 5 days. And he was like, you know what? Something is not right here.
That is the world's most attentive mailman.
But if it's going in a mailbox, and he keeps shoving mail in the mailbox after a while, and you know what? I don't know this, but don't you think mail carriers probably get some kind of like training where they're like, hey, you know what? You guys may be the only ones that notice a problem. Like, you have to speak up. I'll bet you there's a thing for that.
Yeah. I mean, there probably is. I just know if my mail carrier, it would take at least 6 months before they would say anything.
Yeah.
They do not care one iota about anything. Like, they're so lazy, they won't even let you know that you have a package anymore. I mean, well, we don't need to make this into Bash Hudson's mail carrier, but they suck. Whoever it is, I don't know who it is.
Kyle wants to know, how did she get stuck in the bathtub? We don't know. And you know what, Kyle? We're not going to go digging. We're just going to accept the fact that she was stuck.
Yep.
And that we know it wasn't Nikki because she would never be that far from her phone.
And I don't think this person was just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, here's how I can get in the news.
Man, I have thought to myself, though, wouldn't it be great if I could just take a bath and never get out?
Yeah.
Except I still want getting out to be an option.
If she just had a garbage disposal, she would have been fine.
A Clarkman?
Yeah.
The Riot is the radio equivalent of Taco Bell meat. RadioU.
Hudson and Obadiah. Nikki will be back 1 week from Monday. So if you've been missing her, you won't have to miss her a whole lot longer, putting up with Hudson and his talking and his being here and his coming in early to entertain you. All those things that you're just so tired of him doing.
And my new beard.
Yeah? Are you Movembering?
Not exactly. But it is November 3rd, and we haven't even mentioned No Shave November. And we're two arguably manly men.
I could absolutely grow a beard.
I can see from your situation you're not participating.
You know what? I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you don't care, then why don't you just care? Not care.
Okay.
Wait, so putting contacts is too much work for you, but shaving is not.
That's right.
That's a mystery.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I don't like to do it. Like, I sweat profusely.
Okay.
And I don't like having facial hair with all that sweating. Like that, I think that really is a lot of what it comes down to for me.
I hate when my cheeks get sweaty.
Yeah. So like I'm just saying, like I sweat, or I work out a few times a week and I sweat a lot during my workouts, almost embarrassing amounts.
Sure.
And the reality of it is, I just get very sweaty, and I don't want. There's that awkward, like it itches like crazy, et cetera, et cetera.
I've been through that phase recently,
right?
So no, I'm not doing.
Yeah, you shaved yours off. Why did you shave? You had facial hair forever, then it magically disappeared, and now it's back.
I had it for a long time. I wanted to try something different. Yeah. With like I've always had a different kind of ideas of it'd be fun to try this with my facial hair and whatever. Yeah. And so for a time I had what you call a horseshoe mustache. Okay. Which is where like you would think of it as like what a trucker would have. Yeah. Or
so it's like the goatee, but without the bottom of the goatee.
Right, without the bottom. So yeah, I mean it curls down around your mouth like a horseshoe. And it was kind of cool. I don't know, like Eric said that it fit me very well. I think it kind of did. But as I got into the winter, we're getting into the colder months, and I've kind of been thinking, in my life, I've never let my beard get very long but maintained it at the same time. Mm-hmm. There was a time where, like, when I was, in college or around there, where I just kind of let the beard go, just because out of, like, more of laziness, not wanting to shave. Okay. It wasn't a good look, because it was all over the place. It grew uneven. And I mean, a lot of people thought I looked Amish because I couldn't get the mustache in. It was all beard. Okay. So
some people do that by choice.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good choice for me. Okay. Now I'm in on I'm gonna grow it out. I want it to keep getting longer and longer, but I want to keep it under control, even looking like I'm actually putting some effort into it. Okay. Because the reason I finally decided to do the horseshoe mustache is because I was ready to put some effort into that. Previously, it was just like a simple, like, I've got a beard, but I'm just shaving it to the same length all over and whatever. Then it's like I can put in a little more effort to make it a mustache and keep the rest of my face shaved. Now I'm doing the same with my beard. I'm going to put a little more effort into making it kind of look good. But also, I want it to get long. I want to see how long I can go.
All right. Well, you know what? You've got 27 days left, 28 days left to just have.
I could just let it go wild and No Shave November, and nobody would say anything, because that's what this month is all about.
Do you think we should do stuff like get you on certain kinds of vitamins and face scrubs to try to, like,
do people have like do you have a beard growing tips?
Well, are you taking any beard supplements right now?
Yeah.
Do you even beard, bro?
What do you do to make it look good? Like from people that actually make it happen in a significant way.
You got to give us more than I wash my beard, though. Everybody washes their beard, you should.
You should, yeah.
But like, what you got to say? Like, what is it? Are you like, you got to eat more red meat, right? Or what is it that you think is going to put Hudson over the top?
You got beard wax or something like that.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Just a heads up, Rachel really wants you to drink through socks.